What's up? What's up? You tuned in to Girl Talk Houston. I'm Aminah. I'm here with my girl B.
What's up? What's up?
And my girl Thotley over there.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
And go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter at obeyherbeauty_.
Y'all can go ahead and follow me at Beataroya, BEATAROYA, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? Just follow me. I'm ready. All right. I'm ready. And y'all can follow me, Ashlie. Y'all know I don't be posting a lot because I don't participate.
Because social media is demonic.
I don't believe in idolatry.
In that witchcraft.
I don't participate in the ways of the
I'm a
world.
newly found child of God.
I am of the world, not in the world. No, wait, it's the other way.
But yeah, y'all go ahead, subscribe, comment.
And y'all, comment on what y'all want us to talk about in the future, because it's our first podcast. We're really just trying to build up a following right now, get some good content out, but just comment things that y'all want to hear us talk about in the future. But we got some good stuff lined up for y'all today.
Yup.
So we gonna jump right in.
Yup.
Get it started.
Yup.
Who gonna go first?
You. What's up, y'all? Y'all tuned in to Girl Talk Houston. I'm Aminah. I got my girl B over here.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
My sister Ashlie.
Hey.
For starters, y'all can go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at obeyherbeauty_.
Y'all can follow me at Beataroya, BEATAROYA, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just go ahead and follow me.
And you can follow me at Ashlie Celeste.
Cool. Okay. First podcast. We got our nerves going.
So
we're just going to jump right in.
Before we get started, make sure you guys
going.
like, subscribe, share. Right. Tell us what y'all think in the comments.
Right,
all y'all opinions, all of that.
We want to know for future videos.
Whatever y'all want to talk about, whatever y'all want to hear in the future, go ahead and put all of that down below in the comment section. All right, let's get into it.
Okay. First topic of the day is, let me pull it up in my notes. Okay, I have one. Do y'all want to start with men spending money on their women? Obligation or choice? Do y'all want to start with that one? Because we could edit this part out.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to start with that? Okay. So first topic of the day is men spending money on their women. Is it an obligation or a choice?
Okay, see, the way I look at it is, if basically, like, as far as everything goes, first dates, I don't care if y'all been together for a long time, I don't care. Like, I feel like if a man asks me out, you know, he say he want to take me on a date, I'm expecting him to pay for it. I'm expecting him to pay for everything. I'm not pulling my wallet out because you asked me out. Now, if I decide to say, which won't happen on the first freaking date, I'm not going to say that, no. But if it's my nigga, if it's my man, I'm going to say, if I say, hey, let me take you out. I want to take you to lunch. I want to take you to this. I'm going to pay. I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to tell you, let's go out somewhere, and I'm not going to pay, you know.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think it's a choice, so I don't think it's necessarily an obligation. Okay, Ashlie, I know. I don't think it's obligation just because, I mean, I feel like anytime somebody, like, nothing is for free, and anytime somebody spends money on you, eventually they're expecting something back.
I mean, I agree with that.
And I don't want to even set that up. I'd rather just pay for my own stuff, or just do something where we're both really, really cheap and we don't spend anything. You know, I don't care. But I'm not going to get into that whole, you're giving me something and you're a complete stranger. I just can't do it.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I mean, I believe in, you know, traditional roles, and I just feel like a man should pay. You know,
of course.
I feel like that's what a man does. That's, you know, a part of a man's characteristic.
I mean,
to provide.
But I don't feel like it's an obligation automatically. Because, I mean, think about how many people interact with each other for just such a short period of time. You know?
I mean, but a lot of men now, they're kind of like think about men now, they're thinking like, okay, like you have that one half of men that's like, oh, it should be 50-50, a relationship should always be 50-50, and then you have that other half of men and like, no, the man is the provider, he's supposed to do this, my woman's not paying for anything, she's not touching a bill, none of that. So, you know, a lot of men now, that's their point of view.
My problem is, look at the type of guys that's saying let's go 50-50. You know what? Look at the type of guys that's saying let's go 50. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's like, okay, do you want a man that's going to be a traditional man, or do you want a man that's all, you know, progressive and forward thinking and doesn't believe in gender roles, doesn't believe in opening the doors for you, you know, doesn't believe in treating you like a lady, because in his eyes, you know, both genders are equal.
But I just feel
because that's where that whole let's go 50-50 stems from.
I don't know if it stems from that. I just feel like, I don't know. I just don't think there should be an obligation.
Because we're brainwashed to think that way.
I don't mind. Me personally, I can't speak for everybody else, because you know you have those people who feel like they want that man that's gonna do everything for them. That's supposed to be the provider. Yeah, I don't want that either, because
what you saying everything? No, that's just one aspect. Like that's
no,
just
but there are people. Who,
but I feel like in a place where I can go and get a job and help out.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, as far as, like for my relationship.
They weren't hiring women for anything.
Speaking for myself in my relationship, I don't mind. I actually prefer a relationship where it's 50-50, because I've been in situations where a guy has done stuff for me and then turn right back around and try to throw it in my face, say, I did this for you.
And you can't go anywhere because
whereas if I'm with preferably I prefer to be with someone who's not going to do that at all. That's not going to throw it in my face. But if it comes down to something like that,
ASMR. I was throwing it in. No, it doesn't work.
I want to be able to say, if he throws something at me and say, hey, you know, I did this for you, I fed you, I clothed you, all of that stuff, then I can sit there and be like, and I did the same. So what are you talking about? You're not getting anywhere with that. I don't feel bad about nothing you're saying.
A real man isn't going to do that, though.
Exactly, which is why I said preferably. Like, in my relationship, we go 50-50. I mean, I don't mind paying for stuff most of the time. Well, it's pretty much like an argument, because I don't like people doing stuff for me no way. So it's like an argument every time. He want to do stuff, he want to pay for stuff, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me pay for it. That's the argument.
Okay, here's my problem. I feel like everybody's, you know, slowly trying to take away women's rights. It's like, since when do women have to, you know, since when are we obligated to like match men?
You're not obligated to.
But that's what society is trying to, like, you know, make it seem like we're obligated to match men. Like,
you're not obligated to.
I don't feel like we're being obligated to match men.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it is. I mean, I just feel like that's a choice. That's a choice.
I don't know.
I mean, like, I as I said, in my relationship, I have the whole 50-50 thing going, or we'll both pay for both, and then it's not like just because we go half, he's any less more of a gentleman. No, he opens doors, he holds doors, he pumps the gas, all of that. It's the same thing.
I guess right. I see where y'all coming from, but like, I guess when like children are in the equation, and you have to, like, you know, raise children and take care of a household, you know, like y'all are living together, you know, then it's totally different.
So if you guys live together, you're still gonna expect them to pay for everything?
No, but I'm saying if y'all living together, like, with kids, which you know, I know a lot of people are in that situation, like.
So because y'all are living together with kids.
Okay, here's my thing. When your child is going to school Monday through Friday from 7 to 3, and you're only having from when you get off of work, maybe 6 to 9 awake hours with them, you're not spending quality time with your child. It's like somebody else is putting their ideology and their beliefs and what they think your child should know into your child all that time. So I feel like, me personally, I would always want to, homeschool, like teach my own children, because you really don't know what goes on in school. You don't know what they teaching those kids. So I mean, that's why I feel like I feel like it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of asking too much to ask for a woman to work 40 hours a week and then come home and raise kids and then be a wife and have to, hop on the trampoline on command. Like, and after you did all that, you got to deal with your boss and messy coworkers all day. Like, that's stressful.
I feel like it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to match them in the same way that they match you, because women are the opposite of men, and everybody is different as far as,
like, what a lot of couples do, like, especially like if the house is like a stay-at-home mom, like, the husband, like, she'll do all the the grocery shopping, all the budgeting, make sure everything is together around the house, and the husband is the one who brings in the income. But that's how it's always been since the beginning of time. Like, the woman stays at home and takes care of home. Because think about it. Before women entered into the workforce, was there as many?
The government is watching.
Don't answer me. I'm So
my bad. We can talk about that. I'm changing my topic.
When women entered into the workforce, that's when you started seeing divorce rates go up, because men started messing with their female coworkers. But see, it wasn't like that in the beginning because it was just males. You know what I mean? And then it's like when you're married to somebody and y'all are spending all y'all time apart, like at different jobs, like y'all don't even really know each other until y'all retire. And then that's why when all these men retire, they go through these midlife crises, and end up leaving their wives for a younger woman.
But you still have to, in a situation like that, in a relationship, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much you work, how much stuff you have to do. If that's something that's important to you, if quality time with your spouse is important to you, you're gonna find time for each other.
Yeah, but how much time can you possibly find for each other? But
it wouldn't matter if this is something the both of you chose to do to provide for your household. That's why this is stuff you have to talk about before marriage. You have to have that understanding. This is what we're gonna do.
But would it be the same if kids were in the equation?
Yes. That's called quality family time. You include your kids in whatever, and then whatever other time you have, you two set aside for yourselves.
I mean, I know
millions of Americans make that work, but they don't like that. They're not happy with that arrangement.
I honestly feel like no matter how much women try to be equal to men, it's never going to be equal, because the men are the ones that are making us equal anyway. If somebody has to decide whether or not you have power, then they automatically always have the upper hand. Okay, so, I mean, it's really nice to try to be like, women are equal, and I know we get more rights now, we have more options, and we're independent, but
I'm convinced the feminist movement is really, like, funded and spearheaded by men. It has to be.
How?
Because feminists are like anti-traditional women. Everything that a traditional woman stands for, feminists are like totally against it. And it wasn't like that when they first started off.
I mean, what is your definition of a traditional woman?
To me, a traditional woman is just it's so basic. Like, just,
a housewife?
Okay, but that's the thing.
Not even that. Like, you just, grow up, you have your period, you have your first kiss. You go through puberty, like you have your first boyfriend, lose your virginity. Like, it's like you get married, you have kids, whatever.
Is that a traditional
That's
woman?
not a traditional woman. Yeah. I mean, that's not
you
what a lot of people are going to say. Because how you said.
That's what, exactly.
That now, no. I'm going to rephrase that. Now, that's what a traditional woman is. Now. Because back in the day, a traditional woman was, you're raised up, how you said, from, you have your first kids, you do all that, then it's, I was raised to not have sex before marriage, so that's not what I was going to do.
Yeah, so you'll be bit off.
They believe in doing everything right.
That
back in the day, that's what a traditional woman, and a lot of older women still feel like that's what a traditional woman is. That's why they have a lot of issues with our generation.
Yeah.
Because you got 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds out here getting pregnant and they think it's cool.
Yeah, but I saw that online. Like, these kids, man, they're hypersexualized. They can't help it. It's all in the media. It's all on their shows that they watch. It's all in the music they listening to. All they hear is sex all day. How they not gonna do it?
YouTube trend that was horrifying. I was like, it was just these little kids that were like on the internet, and they were like, they had phones and they were just pregnant. They were just showing their bellies. And they were proud.
You sure that wasn't fake?
No, it wasn't fake. They have that on YouTube.
It's not fake. This is what they do.
Dang,
and they think it's okay.
Babies. But it's the little
another
babies
issue is that the younger generation, like, I don't know, for some reason, they think they're like our age.
But it's because of social media, because they have access to a cell phone. They think they're grown because they experience everything cyber.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even real, and they are making it apply to their real lives.
Because they like...
Just because they have some type of personality.
They feel like, they're wearing makeup and stuff and all that. Like,
that's not real.
You know how once we got to our age, we're all like... we all kind of got to the point where... Have you gotten to that point where it's like, you're like, dang, everybody pregnant. Yeah. And then you realize, oh, shit, wait, we're in that age range. Yeah. So everybody around you... But... They're looking at that too, and they're like, "Oh shit, everybody pregnant, so this is what we should be doing."
Social media is no bueno for a young person. They shouldn't even have cell phones. I be seeing first graders with iPhones later than mine.
In this day and age, you gotta have some way to have constant, like, a channel of constant communication.
Give them a flip phone.
Exactly. My first phone was a Nokia, and every time I dropped it, it broke into a million pieces. The battery would fall out the back.
Chris says everybody wants to seem woke, and it's part of growing up. And
everybody does want to seem woke, and everybody tries to act like they're so different from everybody else. It's like,
everybody's the same.
You're just doing that because being different is what's in now.
Everybody's
like
the same.
Everybody says they're a unicorn and a mermaid. Like,
what?
It's so stupid. Yeah. You see that.
I just didn't see it coming. When you said it, I wasn't thinking that's what you were gonna say.
Everybody's like, oh, I'm a unicorn, or I'm a black unicorn. It's like, do you even know what a unicorn is?
Oh my goodness, Ashlie,
yeah,
please, one time for the people of Houston, tell us what a unicorn is.
What do you think a unicorn is?
I think a unicorn probably did exist at one point in time, but I think they went extinct. I mean, I think a lot of species went extinct, like up until this day. You don't believe so?
A lot of species.
So dinosaurs are back? Is that
a lot of species are extinct.
No, but see, it really
okay, tell us about what you think the origins of a unicorn is.
Well, see, the people thought that, and it's just from stuff that I looked up in the encyclopedia. People thought that the horn in the unicorn had healing properties and that it can bring dead people back to life.
Really?
Yeah. But see, people always have folklores about animals. That's not anything new, but so I don't know why people are like glorifying unicorns. They're just like
Chris said, whose dog is this? She's so mad. Okay, so, all right. Do y'all think it's time to move to the next topic?
Yes. Okay. Next topic. But we didn't even really finish what we were saying because we started. That's the thing.
Track.
Okay. This moment was brought to you by ADHD. But all three of us could not stay on topic at all.
Just bouncing all around.
We started with, is it an obligation or a choice, and ended with unicorns, bro.
Chris says, I got a topic for you. All right.
What's the topic?
It's going to be some bullshit. So, I don't know. So, when you when you go on a first date, do you look for somebody? I don't even know how to. I don't know.
You know what? What qualities in a man will qualify him to be a good man?
Okay, so this is one of your topics. Okay.
Yeah.
What makes a good man?
Staple qualities.
Staple qualities. Explain what you mean by staple qualities, please.
By staple qualities, I mean qualities that aren't really objectable.
Example.
Like opinion words, like, oh, he's nice. You know.
So what is the opposite of that? What would you describe as staple qualities?
Staple quality, I would say he treats me treats me respectably. He does, this and that. Like, don't just say he's nice, just say, oh, he's, you know what I mean, Bianca. You know what I mean.
Okay,
know what you mean.
I do. That's the problem. I have a hard time communicating.
So Chris's topic was, would you encourage that schools promote and teach safe sex and health in schools with or without parents' consent?
Heck yes.
With or without parents' consent?
Heck yes, because they going to do it with or without their parents' consent. They don't be going and asking their parents, oh, can I do it?
See, they don't be teaching these kids the real thing.
I feel like it should be mandatory.
They have to.
It should be mandatory in school because you got, like I said, you have all these kids walking around pregnant and they've never had a conversation with their parents about sex. And it's like, okay, well, if their parents aren't talking to them about it, they come to school to learn. So I should be teaching them what they want to know. They teach us all this stuff, all these years.
But English. I think parents should have the choice to whether they want their child to be taught about abstinence or whether they want to be taught about safe sex.
They should teach about both. Some parents, should be sex ed. They don't have sex ed no more because of whatever. They all freaking sensitive. So. Like, they're all sensitive about their word. Oh, well, if you have sex ed in school, it's going to provoke them to have sex. No, it's not.
It did.
I think, honestly,
because I remember the effect that it had
how young kids are and then how in touch they are with technology. Like, we need to get them class.
If a boy doesn't know how to use a condom and you teach him how to put on a condom, then he's more than likely going to use that condom.
But if you're teaching, you can't. I feel like the issue is a lot of people try to force abstinence on them. Whereas if you teach this in school, you teach them safe sex and you teach them abstinence. They're going to do either way it goes. They're going to do whichever one they want to do. You can't just force them and say, oh, you're going to be abstinent. You can't have sex. You can't do that.
Right.
Whereas if you give them that option, either way it goes, they're still going to do what they want to do.
I don't think school should teach your child.
But I feel like the thing is, you keep assuming that, like, we can shield our children from the world, and you just can't. And they're going to be exposed to all kinds of things, and they're going to be tempted. Media. And as much as we would like to believe they will always make the right decision, if they don't, we don't want them caught slipping.
Yeah, but school isn't going to teach your child the right thing. School.
But we just talking about safe sex.
I know. But
so would you rather
them just
before they
come
teach
to you
it, before them they be like, hey, would you like your child to be in sexual education? Or would you rather them just say, hey, sexual education is mandatory for every student?
I would rather have the choice. You can't force my child to learn anything. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
And come on now. How many years after middle school did we really need?
I needed all my years and then some.
I didn't really need to go to school after the 8th grade, to be honest, because
Do you think that you just know?
No, I'm just saying I didn't learn anything new.
You knew algebra and everything in
I'm just talking
middle
about
school
outside
already?
The spectrum of school.
Chemistry, you know all of that?
I'm not saying I knew it. I'm saying I did not learn anything new. I went to crap schools. I did not learn anything in high school. There was no point in me going to high school. Everything that I learned in 8th grade, and that was, I was fine with that. Not to talk down on my high schools.
Sterling trash. Sterling is trash. What high school did you go to? Sterling is trash.
Oh, like Worthing is any better?
Y'all, I don't even claim Worthing. I went there for 1 semester.
Wait, y'all, you go to? It's all H-Town love here.
I mean,
y'all trying to start that petty.
There was a fake homeschool school. And it was like, I think it was like in a church or something. It was. Oh my goodness. And it's like, basically, niggas paid to get their high school diploma. Pretty much.
I mean, a lot of people pay to get their diploma.
No, but I mean, they made it seem like it was an actual school. They, like, niggas like, yeah, I go to I forgot the name of it. I'm like,
are you serious?
Man, you dropped out of school. When niggas say they went to that school, they dropped out of school. What was that school?
University Park.
University Park.
Really?
If a nigga say he graduated from University Park, you need to go the other way.
For real?
Oh, shit.
I ain't never heard of that place. Ever.
Wait, I told you Bianca sheltered. She's sheltered.
Very, very much so.
What did she say? There are no hood people in Pearland. Oh yeah, that's what she said. There are no hood people in Pearland.
Hood people in Pearland.
Pearland.
Oh,
okay, maybe now, but not when I was growing up. They be like land of the peas.
They be like, I'm from Pearland.
Pearland.
You from up the street down Cullen.
No,
that's where
really,
you came from.
What was crazy was when we had the people that moved out of the hood, moved to Pearland, and then they'd be like, you know, the hood came with them, so they was still hard. But it was like, who you got to be hard around here, bro? Like nobody here is trying to fuck with
like,
you.
We got security at the gate, bro. We good. Like
you good, man. Like
you gotta worry about it. Why? But you know what? I noticed that. Like, why do some guys feel like they have to be? It's like, why do they aspire, like, to be, you know, like, rough around the edges and, you know, all, like, gangsta and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Gangsta.
It's like, do they...
It's because they target young black men to be thugs and gangsters and pimps, just like they target young black women to be over-sexualized.
I don't know, like,
strippers.
I feel like those
true.
are the kind of people that I attract for some reason.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Bianca, too.
But
see, you know what?
Girl, that was so salty.
But you know what?
You want some water?
It's all on my clothes. Dang.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
No, but you know what? I realized a lot of girls, they don't know the difference between like femininity and sexuality, like, you know, being seductive. Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of girls don't know how to
how different is it?
The two.
How different is it?
It's very different. Like a lot of girls, you know, think that sexy means, you know, showing all your breasts and, you know, having your, you know.
How about whether or not you should let tits be on a podcast?
How about?
Wait, what?
You got something you want to say to Chris?
What?
Really, Chris? Anyways, so look. You made me like lose my train of thought.
Okay, you said about wearing bras and
sexuality and femininity.
It's like they think
anonymity.
I'm about to go. Okay, so like girls, they think like to be, you know, sexy, you have to, you know, show things, you know, show like your, you know, your titties and everything. But it's like the more you show, you know, it's like the less there is to want. You know, it's like what more, you know, like what more can you give me? Okay, you know, I
feel like you don't want no man, because I feel like it's the same thing for a female. You don't want somebody who everyone knows what you got, you know, basically.
That's why it really boggles my mind how, what's that guy's name from the Migos that's dating Cardi B?
Offset.
They all look alike, but okay, so you know,
Ashlie, you know damn well.
No, she really doesn't know. She really doesn't. I'm telling you, she doesn't.
They all look exactly the same.
Do they all look like because they have dreads? Is that the only reason?
I know they all not the same height.
No, they're not.
Exactly.
They're not.
So there's a difference.
The only reason she thinks that they all look alike is because they have dreads. I'm telling you.
First of all, it's like pretty much a known fact that all niggas with dreads look alike.
No, they don't.
Dark-skinned niggas with dreads, they all look alike.
Quavo not even dark skinned.
Oh, well, I mean,
he's not.
I can't even tell.
He's not dark.
I can't even tell. But anyway, so
well, it's not a bad thing if he is.
But
I'm
look,
just asking.
Here's the thing. Like, they made this song, and I'll never forget. Like, we were in the car, and I was like, this is the most disrespectful song I've ever heard in my life. And it's like, they were talking about how a stripper was trying to basically, like, get with them. And it was like, oh, yeah, she don't want to be a freak no more. She don't want to be a freak no more. And it's like, how do you make a song like that, demeaning strippers, saying that, oh, you know, I could never be with you, but then you go and marry and impregnate a stripper? You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's kind of...
I mean, but a lot of
like, rappers are always contradicting themselves.
Yeah, a lot of rappers now, they don't mean what they talk... None of the stuff they talk about in the rap is true. And that's what I was telling you, because you were saying you don't really like Cardi B or whatever. They just making music. I like Cardi B because she's genuine. Everything that she says in her raps, that's her.
Yeah, but I don't like girls like that.
But no, that's her. I like her. That's her. That's not the point. You saying about Migos how everything they contradict everything that they say, and everybody's trying to jump down Cardi B like around the Nicki Minaj and Cardi stuff. They were trying to jump on Cardi B because of how she was acting, how she threw a shoe and all that. This girl talks about this in her songs. Y'all all listen to it. Y'all all love her music. Y'all all reciting the words, and y'all get mad when she goes. That was a publicity stunt, by the way. It was a what? Publicity stunt. Okay. That was so.
But
no, y'all are mad because she's doing what she actually.
But I saw it. But I saw. I don't know.
Come on now.
I honestly don't. I wouldn't think that people would do that as a publicity stunt, but maybe that's just me being naive. But I do know. But wait, no. I know I saw an interview with her, and she threw her shoe at another girl. It was like for the
that was on Love and Hip Hop.
Hip Hop Wives.
Hip Hop Wives.
Hip Hop Wives of Atlanta.
What? You didn't. I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, no, that was on Love and Hip Hop, and she threw her shoe. I mean,
yeah, and that,
she couldn't. She clearly does that when she can't get to the person because she threw the shoe on the Love and Hip Hop.
Unacceptable behavior. Like, it's the younger girls. The younger generation listen to Cardi B.
That's pushed into the spotlight that is acceptable
behavior. But it's like the thing is,
there are
we
layers
have
to it, and there's
control
a
over
spectrum.
That. No, but we keep supporting her. We keep giving her, money. We keep paying her bills. We going to see her concerts. We buying her music. Okay,
Ashlie, wait. I know
but you want some?
Okay, wait. Just real quick. I know we've all heard a Cardi B song, but did you buy the CD?
No.
Did you buy the CD?
Probably.
You did?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I didn't buy the CD. Did you go to the concert? No. Did you go to the concert?
I will go to a Cardi B concert.
Bianca, stop trying to act like we're normal, okay?
I thought
we're not like the rest of our generation, okay?
I hadn't bought the Cardi B CD, but I heard it was good.
Okay, but
like, I think Aminah is normal.
What?
About, as far as this generation goes.
Whoa. First of all, don't ever put me in this generation. Don't ever disrespect me like that. Ever.
What's wrong with your generation?
They ain't shit. They ain't shit.
How dare you?
They're not.
Why would you say that about millennials?
Millennials ain't shit. And don't call me no freaking millennial. I'm not that.
Oh my goodness, millennials.
I was born in the 90s.
You can always look up, and it's like mind control with the cell phone. Like, back in the 90s, this wouldn't have been normal. If you just walked into a place and people were just looking down at a screen, like, you would be freaked out and you would walk outside that
That's
building.
why I was saying it's kind of like an addiction. Like, you ever, like, heard your phone?
Have y'all seen those commercials? No, I haven't. But they have commercials now talking about being addicted to your phones, but I have not heard my phone ringing. When it's not ringing.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that before.
Or it's like you just feel.
But I have felt it vibrating when it's not vibrating.
I have. That's your FBI agent logging into your phone. He's clocking out of work.
They're watching us.
He's clocking.
I actually thought about applying for the FBI, and I'm like, I'm so unreliable.
Ashlie, you think they gonna hire you? You gotta pass a psych test. They're not gonna hire me. They're not going to hire me.
I don't think they do a psych test.
If they do a psych test for the police department, why would they not do it for the FBI?
You think they do psych tests for police
department? They do. I know for a fact they do.
Man.
People just lie.
I know some people that shouldn't have passed them tests.
People just lie.
You know, let me not say that. I don't know their mental condition. Let me not say that.
I know a lot of people who shouldn't pass the test. I do. I know I wouldn't pass that test.
Cops.
Huh?
I don't know that many.
You don't know any cops? Like I know
that many
people
cops.
that I like went to school with. They end up becoming cops.
I don't. Usually, if I became like in contact with somebody that was a cop, I wouldn't want to keep in contact with them.
You know, some people actually have anxiety about
cops.
Cops.
I do, because of that thing that happened to me at Chacho's.
Yeah, that was traumatizing. But you know,
I got arrested at Chacho's for something that I didn't do.
Was it
even though they
fault?
didn't? No, they didn't. It was a okay. So they basically tried to say that I stole some cop's phone, and I never touched his phone. But he got me confused with another black girl at the restaurant.
All black girls look alike.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they put me in handcuffs, and I was just like, he was like, you know, you finna go to jail right now. I was like, okay, you finna take me to jail for something that I didn't do. And I was like, I'm finna call my daddy. I was the phone, and I like called my dad, and my dad was like, oh, you know, did you take a phone, Bianca? I was like, no, I didn't take nobody's phone. I don't need nobody's phone. Like, why would I take a cop's phone? And my dad was like, okay, well, and then this cop like literally like started yelling at me while I was on the phone, and I had to hang up, and my dad like heard him yelling at me. So, you know, my daddy was like in the car like
yeah, that was crazy.
My daddy is, you don't want to mess with my dad.
But you know what's crazy? Like, cops actually relieve my anxiety. Like,
really?
Yeah, like, cause
that's because Ashlie thinks she's white.
No, I really don't. Girl.
She acts so white.
But like, you know, I've got that all my life. Just because like I'm proper.
Who told you were proper?
Just because I'm proper and dainty, people, you know, equal that to white. Yeah, like I've gotten it all my life. Like, people always think, you know, just because you pronounce your words, and that's the thing. I don't even talk right half the time.
No.
So how do I act white?
I'm glad you said that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how do I act white? Like,
you just.
No,
I don't know.
No, you just.
I'm just different.
Because only a white person gonna sit there and say.
Not all cops trip out like that.
What that they no, but you don't understand. Everybody's experience with cops is different. Like,
one time, I made a really bad U-turn, and I went up onto this field bad. Like, I had to reverse and pull out, and this cop was behind me, and I pulled over, and he walked up. He was like, "What happened?" He was like, "Cause that looked like a mess." And I was like, "Man, I don't know. I just got my license. Like, I'm trying to figure this out." He was like, "Okay, like, why'd you turn around?" And I was like, "I was gonna go to McDonald's, but I decided to go to Sonic." It is true.
I remember
like, there was a McDonald's down.
But see, okay, no, the thing is like ever since I was like younger, and when I used to get in trouble a lot, I would, you know, I wouldn't say I got arrested like a few times, but like the cops, they were never, and to mind you, like I would be like losing it, you know, like losing it, like trying to fight and everything, and they would just like never be, you know, like aggressive to me like how they would be like if it were a guy, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
I beg to differ. My experience was different.
Yeah, I don't know why, because it's like, and then like whenever, like I remember one time I got lost downtown because I was having an anxiety attack, and these two black cops, like,
did you have an anxiety attack because you got lost downtown? Is it because you didn't know where you were going?
I was having an anxiety attack because I had just come from court.
Oh, I thought you got lost downtown and started freaking out. This was recent.
Like
this was recent.
It wasn't recent.
16, 17.
Dang.
What'd I tell you?
Yeah.
It was recent.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then you know, and then they just walked me all the way to my car.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like,
why are you having an anxiety attack?
Because
I just came from court.
I know, but what in court? Like, what about court?
Handling business.
Just because?
Handling business.
Okay.
But yeah, but the thing is, I've also like had an experience with a cop, and it's usually the really old ones that are the meanest. It's like the older they are, the meaner they are. It was like this really old white cop. And he was just being really rude to me and my friends at the movie theater. You know, he was like, "Oh, you know, it's the curfew. Y'all gotta." I'm like, "Why are you talking to us like that?" You know, and I'm like, "You're not supposed to talk like us like that." You know, and it's like, I just, you know, I always knew that I always had, knew that they were, racist towards black people for the most part.
Whisper that.
Well, I mean, because I don't like to throw the word. I don't like to throw the word racist around because people overuse it and they use it out of context a lot. But I know cops, they target the black community a lot. You know what?
I mean, wouldn't you target the black community though? But if you were a cop,
I guess it's an easy way to meet your quota.
Yeah, that's the issue. But that is our fault. Well, not our fault, but
But see, you know what that remind me of? You know how they have that show Bait Car, and then they started doing bait truck. How come they'll never do that in the white neighborhoods?
Because white people not gonna touch. White people gonna be like, yes, there's a suspicious car the same night. There's a suspicious car outside of my house. I don't know what it's doing there. Could you please send someone to check it out? I've never seen it before. Whereas black people, they're not. They're not.
All white people ain't the same.
No, I'm talking about the other type. Okay. The ones that
white people is not the same. No. I have to say it because it has to be said. All white people are not the same.
I'm talking about the white folks that,
Cockazord is a cockazord.
No, they're not the same.
No. White people are not the same. Racism is, it's fluid. It can happen to a lot of people. I like to say that. It's fluid. It's fluid because something that's fluid can happen to anybody.
I know black people can't be racist. What? Because black people have they can't exercise any economical power.
I mean, I've heard people say
white people.
Black people can't be racist, but we can be prejudiced. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But technically not racist if you want to be technical.
Because we have no influence.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
But
now, what I will say is I have experienced more racism from Asians and Indians than I have white people ever in my life.
Y'all, we've been recording for 42 minutes already.
What the fuck?
We got the good.
We get off topic.
We are.
Because we're sad.
Y'all, it's good to get this in, okay? We can find something out of our conversation. We just have to keep with our topics.
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead, Ashlie. I'm sorry.
And I was just saying, especially growing up in the hood, because in the hood, everything's pretty much owned by Asians and Indians, Middle Easterns, all the businesses. I mean, up until recently now, they have more black business in the hood. But, growing up, that's not how it was in the 90s. And it's I've always experienced racism from Asian, especially Asian women.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Asian women.
I don't think I've interacted with enough Asian people to say that I've necessarily experienced racism. I don't think I've ever
because I used to go to the nail
shop.
I used to go to the nail shop in the hood. Honestly, I used to go to the beauty supply store in the hood.
It's because,
and they're all owned by Asians.
It's Asians, you can't expect them to have American mannerism as far as customer service. I'm talking about traditionally, just being super, just not hard.
That's true. I
mean, they'll just be hard. They'll be okay, get your shit.
That's true. I mean,
but I've never experienced
they're not the best
anybody
at customer service, but
following me around in the store. I haven't ever experienced it.
That's because you didn't grow up in the hood.
Okay, but I went to the stores in the hood. I went to the beauty supply store.
Beauty supply store.
He push it forward. Oh my goodness. Let's just give it to me. Thebomb.com.
Okay, so wait, what was my topic even? What was yours?
We went on the whole rant of.
Okay, y'all. No, for real though, we gotta stick on.
Wife.
Okay, how about we do it like this? How about
we can't be talking about it. We cannot be on our first podcast talking about the cockazoid. We cannot do that. Y'all gotta get it out of your system.
Well, I feel no, because it's I thought we was just gonna be. I thought we was gonna talk about everybody. I thought nobody was safe on this podcast.
Ain't nobody safe.
I mean, I guess ain't nobody safe, but at the same time, we wanted to be sensitive because we want to be serious.
I don't know how.
But is that
okay? Well, I'm gonna be sensitive then. That can be my thing. Ashlie, you're the antithesis because you don't agree with what anybody says. No. And I'll try to be sensitive, and then you are logical.
Logical, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. That's that. I don't care.
Okay, so Aminah, what was your topic?
my topic was.
Are we still recording?
She has a good topic. Yeah, she had you had suicide and then the dynamic between the black parent, black
basically child. How there's so much suicide in our generation and I feel like it's because we make it so hard for people to come and talk to us about stuff, about how they feel, especially black parents. They always want to teach you to be tough. And it's like, okay, when I need to be vulnerable, who am I supposed to be vulnerable with? And then when it all just gets so overwhelming, and they crack. That's what happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But the thing is, like, it's not just the black parents. It's, just society, period. Like, they expect black, especially black women. They have that saying, strong black woman. They expect black women to be stronger mentally and physically than every other race of woman. Like, like a black woman. Were we talking about that earlier? A black woman, she can't, she can't have any type of mental illness because then she's gonna fit into the crazy black woman stereotype, And it's like, especially, when black women are pregnant, they don't go get mental help because they're afraid that their baby's gonna get taken away. It's like, everybody hears these stories about these women, drowning their kids and things like that. And, most of the time it's like, they had husbands, they had, family and everything like that. So it's like nobody listened, you know what I mean? Or like, and not to say like that, like it's I won't say it's a family problem. Some people, like, they're just determined to do it. They're going to do it. You know what I mean? Right. But it's like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, what economic situation you in, where you grew up. It's like, people, they think it's a disease of luxury. Like, it's only for the rich. Only the rich can get depressed and, have anxiety.
I feel
you can't afford to do it when you're poor.
I feel like as far as the dynamic between the black parent and the black child, it's like black families, they raise their children so strict, so hard, and kind of like very raw. It's very raw being raised as a black child, and it's almost like
but you gotta have thick skin.
Oh my bad. Huh?
You gotta have thick skin being black in this world, because don't nobody have no love for black people.
But it's almost like you don't know that you stop knowing how to communicate because of how raw it is. You don't know how to communicate and say what you actually mean. A lot of people just have that small talk where they don't say anything at all. It's like, oh, hey, this, that, blah, small talk about the weather, not actually saying what you want to say.
Well, I think Chris made a good point. He said when it comes to suicide, it's not as much of a new thing as to which it's more public because of social media.
What?
Suicide. Yeah. And then he said,
"Well, we care.
This is good input, actually, surprisingly." But yeah. So, and he said also depression and anxiety is an issue, but is also used as a crutch by some. That was a clap?
Yeah. I believe it. I like that he's giving input. We actually have people that are tuning in.
This is live.
He's trying to give us what they think. He does count.
Are you mad because he called you a dog?
He's number one. He's the first one. Thank you.
He's the only one.
Thank you.
Are you mad because he called you a dog?
No.
Yes, she is. She's a little salty.
You're not a dog, Ashlie.
I'm actually mad because I can't think of anything to come back with.
He said a lot of youth and young adults use anxiety and depression as an excuse to try and not manage stress, which was encouraged more in older generations.
Speaking of stress management, why is it that growing up? Oh, go ahead.
I thought we were gonna stay on topic because we're reaching.
Oh yeah,
we're reaching 50 minutes.
I do change topic.
Okay, so I want to ask my question. What do you guys think about immigration? Because I think we should just let them come in. We should just knock all the borders down and they should all come inside, and we should be one big American family.
You know what I almost said, right? I almost said something that I was not allowed to talk about, to joke about, but I'm going to leave it alone.
So, you think we should just let anybody in the country?
Honestly, I just feel like, if this is how I feel, and I'm not going to even pretend to know any information about.
Yeah, because we don't really keep it.
Yeah. I'm not going to pretend to know any information about.
We're just speculating.
Bills and laws and how you legally can come to the country. All I know is what they raised us to believe this country was built on, and what
did they raise you? Because didn't Pearland have in their school books that slaves were immigrants?
No, we're not gonna get. Can I finish?
What kind of books y'all had in Pearland?
Regular books.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, in Pearland.
Okay, who went to school in Pearland? Can we just clarify?
Okay, thank you.
So who read the books?
It was on the news.
Who read the books?
It was on the news.
Okay,
and the news don't lie.
What channel? Fox.
I don't remember.
It probably wouldn't be Fox because they wouldn't say something like that. But anyway, can I finish my point?
What would they? Okay, go ahead.
I don't remember it. It's gone now. Okay, I had a point and it's gone now.
You were talking about how you were raised, and how they taught you that America was built on immigrants, and how Pearland taught that.
You brought in Pearland. You're trying to incorporate what you were talking about into what I was talking about.
Yeah, but finish. I just wanted to add that in again because I want to reiterate that point, that that's what they taught in your schools.
I think I was saying that we should have open borders. Oh yeah. What the foundation of what I was taught this country was about was coming to establish a life for yourself, because you couldn't establish it for yourself wherever you were from. So these people that are in bad situations where they can't come out of it wherever they were born, I think they should be allowed to come here legally. But then at the same time, it's just like, I feel like sometimes because we're born here, we just take it for granted. The same reason that people don't.
I don't think I'll take it for granted.
Okay, I know we take it for granted because we don't even take advantage of the education system. We complain about the education system, but we don't take advantage of it.
What education? Do you know?
Exactly, but what education system? But at the same time, in these countries, they don't have enough of a structure to even have.
Oh, so just because we have the choice to be miseducated and spend like $40,000 to $100,000 in loans on school to get a degree that may not even guarantee us a job, we're being ungrateful because we're not taking advantage of that.
I'm saying we're taking it.
I
said we're taking it for granted. I didn't say we're being ungrateful. I said we take it for granted because even though it may not do anything to really change our position in this illusion of freedom that we have on ourselves, we could learn a little bit of the game back. Just as far as how America sets up this country. Okay.
Not unless you just take all government classes and economics.
Even if you learn everything.
Why do you need to learn about Hamlet to be an engineer?
Everything that you can learn, you can put
that
back
makes
in your
no
community.
sense.
You never know who you're going to inspire. You never know.
Okay, Bianca.
I'm just saying.
I just feel like all those extra classes are unnecessary. That's why I don't blame people for not taking advantage of, this great education system. Because nowadays, these people, they leave in high school, okay, they going and doing these startups in Silicon Valley, and they're hiring the people who just spent the last 4 to 6 years in school, okay, and making 200 times as much as they are. So
okay, I'm just saying
it's not how it was back in the day. It's not how it was back in the day. A degree don't guarantee you nothing.
If we're talking as far as
unless you're in the medical field or
immigration, I think people should be able to come here. If they have a bad situation that they are fleeing from, they should be able to come here. That's pretty much my thought. I just wanted to reiterate it.
Okay.
No matter the circumstance, should be able to come.
Okay, so
someone said we were miseducated with some of the history that was put on front forward with those who had higher authority. So I'm guessing that what's trying to be said here is that
just like when we were in school, y'all thought Christopher Columbus discovered America,
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed about Christopher. We need to build Negro schools.
No, that's what Dr. Umar Johnson tried to do.
Who is Umar?
But
I'm saying what we're being taught is a education system all created by some freaking white people, and they are teaching us lies about. You know how mad I was when I found out about Christopher Columbus. No, we just discussed this. Bianca's gonna be sensitive. You gonna be against everybody, and I don't care. So.
I mean, you're just being ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. It's all from some freaking white people. Why is that lying
white people
to us?
alone? Trust me, it takes two to tango. It's a lot of coons, okay, that put their work in making that happen. So don't just blame white people. Yes, I did.
She did. She said this.
Yeah, the C word. I went there.
You did.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
The audacity.
Oh yeah,
the audacity.
I mean, I just got like I said.
Oh, you looking at us. You
looking
at us, though. Like what that mean?
I feel attacked.
What that mean, though?
And
I don't like how that made me feel, Ashlie. And attack I don't like how that made me feel.
Are y'all triggered?
Are you triggered? I'm finna trigger.
I mean, what the...
I'm gonna trigger that lace a couple inches to the right.
Hey, don't do the lace. Boom. Actually, it's a silk top, so...
Shots fired.
Silk top.
Yeah.
Silk
I don't do
top.
lace no more. I do silk tops.
Oh.
I hadn't even never heard of those. I ain't gonna lie. I don't do weave no more.
You don't do weave no more. Yeah,
I don't do weave no more. My bad.
No.
Sorry. My bad, Ashlie.
So
what'd you call it? Silk top.
Silk top.
Silk top. Okay.
So hey, do y'all ever seen like when females?
You didn't ask for my opinion on immigration.
I did. I said.
What
do y'all think about immigration? Yeah, you literally sat there and talked and didn't give your
and now you saying we
now you say somebody forgot about you. See, that's Ashlie, bro. She manipulates.
We didn't ask for your opinion, but you gave it anyway.
I didn't. I did.
Yes, you did.
No,
you talked for so long.
I did.
Yes.
You was talking. You
I
was
never realized.
What about me, bro?
My bad.
She feel
left
out.
I guess since I didn't answer the question, I feel like,
Yeah, I kept telling you what I thought, and you kept asking more and more.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just asked you questions. I didn't give my opinion.
Okay,
but
so
you did through your
what
questions.
is your opinion on immigration, Ashlie?
I'll pass. Next question.
What?
I'm gonna throw.
Next question.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay, so all right, so something more modern. What y'all think about these females who wear, like sew-ins and wigs? Because this is something that really, just grinds my gears. Okay. So, what do y'all think about these females that wear these sew-ins and stuff, and they don't, you're supposed to wash your hair even when you have a sew-in in. And it just be stinking.
I saw a Facebook post that said a sew-in is not a pregnancy. You don't need to keep it in for 9 months.
Yes. And then when you take it out, you're not supposed to have a bunch of cornflakes up under that.
No, but here's the problem. Okay, here's the issue. Black girls don't have to wash their hair as much as everybody else. We just don't force.
I don't know about you because I gotta wash my hair every other day. Or I start getting
Yeah, but you don't have typical black hair. You don't have type 4 hair. I don't even know what type.
What is type 4?
I don't know if there's any such thing as typical black hair.
Oh, come on now.
No. Let me please let me finish.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any such thing as typical black hair because black hair is so diverse. And number 2, I wash my hair every 3 days. If I wouldn't have these braids in, I wash my hair every 3 days. I'm doing a deep condition. I'm sitting under my steamer. I'm doing something to my head. But that could just be me because of how I am. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people like that.
You are pretty excessive with the conditioners.
Okay, but
your forehead is excessive. And your hot breath that I can smell from over here is excessive.
Really, Nina? You act like Martin. We act like we have like a Martin and Pam relationship.
She is Martin.
I don't like her.
She got
like
that 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all trying to sound my man? I'm glad y'all understand who wear the pants in this relationship.
You just goofy.
I would. Shoot.
Okay. So what did you say about sew-ins?
They don't be washing. For one, they don't wash the weave. The weave stink. It smell like green eggs and ham.
That'd be a fungus infection. It do. That's the fungus growing on their scalp. First of all, you supposed to boil your weave in apple cider vinegar.
But what if somebody
if you don't have that vinegar?
What if they just shampoo it?
They put them. Okay, first of all, you don't know how dirty those factories in China and India are.
Why
you can have all type of parasites.
Okay, if we're gonna be like this, why are we buying somebody else's hair to put on our head in the first place? If we're gonna be so particular and I want to wash this way and I gotta do it this way, why are you putting somebody else's hair on your head in the first place?
Because we want to be glamorous. Because girls
but why
like
is that
to dress.
The only way to be glamorous?
No, because girls like to dress up. Okay, just
dress
like,
up how?
Just like little girls
dress
like
up
to put
how?
on wigs.
Dress up how?
Makeup.
Dress up.
Weave.
Dress
Extensions.
Up
okay.
Dress up how?
Lashes. Eyebrows.
Okay, but what do you call that?
You know.
They try to be Negro-pean.
No, that's
they're
not
trying to be Negro-peans.
That's not Negro-pean. Okay. Because all these, because even, come on now, that's not the same.
At the door. So,
Amir.
Drew, can you see
that's
who's
the
at the
thing.
door?
Okay, I don't think all girls try to be Negro-peans, but I do feel like they just make it such a stigma.
Because he was closer. I mean, I should go see.
Dummy, how would he know?
I feel like because they make it such a stigma. I'm finna take over, but she gonna lose her followers. I feel like because they make it such a stigma for that.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh, this my husband too.
So the people want us to talk about how the duality is that how you say it? Duality of speech.
We should get his opinion. I like his opinion.
It says the duality of speech many minorities have to use to socialize to appease multiple cultures.
Yes.
Wait, say that again.
Okay, so basically what I'm taking from this is all the different types of like, you know how they want you to, they say, oh, you need to learn this language, and then they want you to learn how to talk proper, and then you gotta, like, how you have to, basically,
we assimilate.
They want minorities to adjust to different cultures for
the main culture.
Okay.
It seems like the main culture adjusting to minority cultures more than the other way around to me. Because nowadays, living in Houston, you got to be bilingual to get a good paying job.
But
that don't seem like they're assimilating to our culture. It seems like we're assimilating.
I feel like they assimilate to our culture, but at the same time, we're outnumbered. Okay, there's a difference if you just have so many people. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
No, it makes sense.
We're
outnumbered. To learn the main language of the country that you move to.
They probably know some of it, most of it, but they probably just have. They know. They understand it.
Like, I mean, if they move here,
they
English
understand
is
it.
the most basic language.
I know, but they understand. Why though? Like, okay, does that say something about us as a country?
It does. We're basic. We're basic.
Does it say something about us as a country?
No, but listen. Okay. If we, like, say, all black people migrated to France, okay? France was like, hey, black people, open borders, you can come over here. And, we migrated to France. Wouldn't it make sense for us to learn French instead of us saying, oh, well, you have to
right, but
know
we probably
English
do.
To get a job.
We probably do eventually learn French, but until we learn French, we're going to speak the language that we learned before. It's not like we're just going to communicate with each other silently. When was the last time you learned a language?
I haven't tried.
Okay, exactly. So how do you know how long it takes?
Can I say something?
What?
Do you think it's weird that we can speak around, like, just talking layman terms around ourselves, but when we get around other nationalities, they don't understand nothing we say?
That doesn't happen to me.
What do you mean?
Okay, for instance, I got a class that I have people from, like, different corner stores of different nationalities. Their main problem is they don't understand what we're saying. Like, if you use ham, they know ham is pork.
Oh, they don't know slang.
Well, I mean, but all of us speak slang. Like, they don't really. I deal with a lot of foreigners, and even like we could say something in layman terms. The reason we use words for so many different reasons to them. That's why the English language is so hard to learn, because we use one word for down to three or four different meanings.
That's true.
So when we don't, and like they ask me, like, okay, I'll tell them how to better their store. you know, and what people mean, what they mean when they say certain things. Like if I say, like I gave an example, if somebody come in and say, hey, he got that banger, or he got that hammer. If he say, well, he got that hammer outside, close the door, lock the door, the first thing the dude was like, I didn't even know what a hammer was. I thought he was talking about like a tool. The whole time he was talking about a gun. So, like, they don't really, like, I got a lot of white friends because I'm from the South.
Maybe they should just listen to rap music. And
that doesn't happen to me.
It's just
people
a lot of
usually
black
what I'm
people
saying.
don't listen to
no,
rap
foreigners
music.
don't get slang unless they've been around America.
Okay, you know what? I can't even have an input because I don't use a lot of slang.
I'll put it like this. This is what I'll do.
Because she's a suburban kid.
It's not because I'm suburban.
Like,
it's just because I don't have slang vocabulary. That's like a completely different vocabulary. That's like the cool vocabulary.
I mean, people, regular black folks don't, like, everybody, it's the way we say our words. That's what I'm trying to get you to say. I have a white friend. I mean, I'm from Orange, Texas, with a Ku Klux Klan, like, it's the capital. But they got some white boys that's cool with us, and, like, when we talking, me and you can hold a whole conversation. He ain't gonna know what the fuck we talking about.
But that doesn't have anything to do with how us talking or how we're talking. That's how they're listening to it. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't take much to understand somebody with an accent.
Are you serious?
No, it doesn't. All you have to do is listen. But half the time, people are so lazy they don't want to listen. So it's like, oh, it's hard to understand this person.
Years of friendship because I couldn't understand the words she was saying.
My wife from Louisiana, people don't even understand what she say.
Really? All you have to do is listen just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not hard.
Words.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
You can't understand too much unless you're around a lot of people from Louisiana.
When they be like,
and then like in certain parts of Louisiana, you can tell where they from by their accent. Like if they're from Lake Charles, they kind of have more of a Texas style accent. But if you get down to the southern part, like Abbeville, Lafayette, the Flats, even in Ville Platte, this how they talk. That ting over there. You seen that ting over there?
How you do that?
And you'll be like,
how you do that?
Yeah, it's just, and most people, so check it out, a foreigner will see this dude and he don't, that's just his,
a foreigner.
the way he say it, right?
So whenever
I
can say foreigner, maybe.
Oh, like how our foreign friends say tree instead of three.
Yeah.
But you can still understand them. We're talking about understanding them, right? You can still understand what they're saying.
They don't understand our slang.
Yes, they do. They don't have a problem.
After a while, but when they first come here, like especially if they don't.
So it's the same way that it takes us a second to understand.
I don't even think this is just limited to foreigners. I think this is limited to different states and stuff. Because like I said, when I was in Louisiana and they were saying certain stuff, like it would be two different things. Like how I said, they be like, "Oh, you getting down?" I was like, "Okay, we finna fight. Like, what are y'all talking about?" They like, "No, we talking about you going in the stove."
Yeah, you chilling. That's how they talk. They say chum. Chum mean bland, or not none spice, or they'll be like chum, man, you chum, meaning you lame. It's just different ways that they.
Okay, yeah, I ain't never heard nobody say nothing like that to me.
Yeah,
or
well,
shade.
I remember. I'll never forget when the New Orleans kids came to our schools, and they kept getting into fights with them. And
after Katrina,
yes.
We had a flood of people from New Orleans, Louisiana, coming to our school too. Man, our school was so much fun with them there. Oh my gosh, it was. Yeah.
Fun. Remember when they were like, back then I had a home, now I live in the Astrodome.
I never heard that, Ashley. No, I never heard that.
I was like, that was so mean.
Oh yeah, what?
I know they made jokes about them. They said they called them swimmers, which I thought was lame. Yeah, they called them swimmers, which I thought was lame.
What that little topic was supposed to be interpreted to was when some black people are said they talk white versus.
See, that's why we can't
black.
let Aminah interpret anything. Okay, that's why
I read it out loud. Neither one of y'all interpreted it like
no,
that.
because we just didn't hear you.
I'm sorry,
you didn't hear me.
We basically talking about like going back to how like Aminah said I talk white.
No, Aminah didn't say you talk white. Did you
say that?
No, you didn't.
I said Ashlie thinks she's white.
Yeah, she didn't say you talk white. And you said you talk proper. You merged them.
You saying that you
merged them.
Calling the police relaxes your anxiety.
No, not calling the police. I'm saying like when I see the police, it relaxes my anxiety.
When I see the police, my anxiety goes through the roof, and I automatically imagine myself as like a 6'7" black man.
Okay, if the police is there, it's less likely to be a mass shooting.
I haven't even broke a law. You know, I don't know what to do.
Differently than they would under her.
Who, me?
She don't even realize it.
I realize it.
No, I'm talking about like her. They will handle you rougher than they will handle her.
Bianca.
You know.
Why?
Proven fact. Just growing up in the South with the police, like, really fuck with you.
How do you know?
How I know I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in the South.
I know, but how do you know they would handle us differently?
I'm going to show you why. My sister. When the police put, like, she act just like you, right? But when the police pull over, she taught, and she's gonna act just like her. She gonna switch it up. So one day I asked her, I'm like, man, why you be switching up? She said, man, I put.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, like she.
Yeah, she switch. She be like, she'll talk proper. Her whole body language change. So she like, man, I switch it up. I throw my white girl on, cause the minute she say if I talk regular to them, they feel like I'm aggressive. They look at me like I'm hood, I'm street, I'm up to something. Mm. But, and I can say, like, we live both lifestyle because we grew up in the hood, but my dad, like, he made it, like, we grew up in the hood, but he moved to, like, the suburbs. He got, like, a $450,000 house in the suburbs. And
did he move y'all in?
No, we was in college when he made it out. Like, this dude couldn't read.
Dang.
So my kids enjoyed going to the suburb, like,
they did. I hated going to school in suburbs, man. It was torture, man.
But see, that's the thing.
But you got a good education.
But that's the thing. Like the police, they usually always treat like women do.
I'm sorry.
You're right. Can't say that because they do the white girls bad too. Them hillbillies. I mean, them like the dirty ones. They handle them just.
But see, that's the thing, and this is another thing that I want to talk about. Like,
people
I know
bully.
A lot of times when people think that someone is being racist towards them, they're really just treating them lesser than because they may see. Dress a certain way, or they may wear their hair a certain way, they may talk a certain way, things like that. So it's like, I think black people are there. We've kind of been programmed to be super sensitive to racism. Like, like in black schools, they showed us roots.
I don't think we've been programmed to be super sensitive to racism because
the thing is,
you
didn't go to a black school.
No, I'm not talking about going to a black school. Ashlie,
that's
first,
what I'm talking about.
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
That's
okay.
what I'm talking about. Going to a black school.
You talking about going to a black school. I went to a predominantly white school. Do you know how much it is to stick out as a black person in a white school? You gonna stick out as a black person in a black school or a black person in a white school?
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with us being programmed to be overly
sensitive to racism.
Yeah.
Like overly sensitive to racism.
It's like every time a white person does something wrong.
Did the cops stay at your school?
The cops didn't stay at my school, but I had a girl tell me, "Nigga, get behind me" in the first grade.
Check this out though.
That's completely different.
The difference is this. Her school was more policed than your school.
Okay, but I'm talking about our school. You had racism start literally from a superintendent saying, "I want the kids with the freckles to come up here."
Okay, that's but you guess what? You are now getting tuned. What you're like, what you
think is big racism.
No, I'm not saying that. What you went through is what we all go through from the moment we like walk out the door at a young age. Like you gotta realize every kid like growing up in the hood.
So it's all the same.
No, growing up in the hood, it's a difference though because see, white people will do things like this. They'll be like, "Look that nigga bitch," you feel me? But the whole time she's smiling and laughing in your face in the upper society. Okay.
No, she wasn't nice with it. They don't be nice.
We're not talking about.
I'm talking about how many people that were racist towards me. They're not nice with it. I had people throw bottles at my head. They're not nice with it. They don't smile in your face. They spit on you. They spit at our car.
I had the type of racist smile in my face and then go behind me and talk about my.
Yeah, that's what they do. Like, deep in the South though, they like this here. Say bitch. Say nigga, you need to get up out of here. Like when we grew up, we had that conversation. I grew up, they had signs that used to say, "Don't let your black ass get caught out the door."
When Obama ran for president, I always say this. When Obama ran for president, we had dead animals show up in our front yard. And we live in a gated community.
Okay, so you live in a racist neighborhood, but they're not as blatant as, okay, you don't have to worry about this is what you didn't have to worry about. You didn't have to worry about your kids. I mean, you being a child. Like the average kid in the ghetto, when he see the law, the first thing he do, he back up. The police don't understand because they do so much in the neighborhood.
Okay, I get what you're saying now because I can't relate to that because we didn't have the laws.
Those kids see what the police doing, so they fear them.
And then they see the movies.
And then they hear the rap songs. Cause see, you got to realize I was at the age of
so they're
15,
brainwashed,
14 and 15,
just like we are, but in a different way.
At the age of 14 and 15, we had police pulling us over, putting us in handcuffs, kids, children. Yeah. Walking home from the basketball court, put us in handcuffs and put us on the high car. You like barbecue? Don't y'all niggas like barbecue, huh? Man, get me off the car. It's burning my chest. We just finished playing basketball. We sweaty. You know what I'm saying? Lay your ass on.
My dad had something like that happen to him.
So that's what kids in the hood go through. Like, it's a difference but I'm gonna tell you, I've actually, truck broke down on my way to my dad's house in the suburbs, right down the street from Earl Thomas, the play for the Seattle Seahawks. White policeman, flagged his life, like, man, can I get a ride home? He was like, he told me straight up, if I get to this address and it's not your address, I'm taking your black ass to jail. So when he pulled up in the driveway, my dad got like an acre-long driveway. He flashed the lights, put the high beams on, didn't even let us out the car, went knocked on the door. My daddy like, what you got my son in the car for? You know, he was like, well, I'm sorry, sir. I seen him walking. He's like, well, what is he? Why you got him in handcuffs?
Well, you know they brainwashed to be scared of us, right?
But no,
yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, I just didn't see it like that. Like, I can imagine somebody harassed, like putting their hands on me, you know, because I was just dodging and ducking.
What's the difference in the drug? All right, what's the difference in
regular racism?
Their crime. I'm gonna tell you how they look at it. You're Jewish people. You're like your people, or even white people. The first thing they say, I heard a dude say, ain't nothing worse in the world than a drug dealer. Most black people sell drugs, right?
Try this again.
They look down on people who sell drugs.
We gotta try this.
But they're the main people who import alcohol.
This?
Like they were in the 30s when they put a ban on alcohol.
16 minutes.
They would slide it in.